How would you like to wake up to that every fucking morning? Luckily, in this place here, these logs are pretty damn good insulators. You don't hear shit. Not even the birds. You don't barely hear thunder or anything coming in when we got a storm coming through here. So yeah, it's very quiet and very peaceful inside this log cabin. But yesterday was pretty much of a bust. Really didn't do anything that I want to do as far as pawn shopping goes. Basically, ended up just kind of like going into town. I ended up getting some cash out of the bank. I was supposed to get the oil changed on the SUV, never did that. My biggest mistake was giving the wife some money. So she had some spending money that basically didn't even have a chance to burn a hole in her pocket. Went out to all the malls that were in town, and between her and the kid, they bought some clothes for each other, and yeah, worked out pretty good. So I was kind of the one sitting on the bench holding the wife's purse as she was trying on clothes. You know, every guy's dream. But it worked out pretty good, not too bad. Went grocery shopping afterwards. I didn't video any of it because it's like, yeah, you guys would be bored. You're bored enough with my videos, anyways. So didn't bother with it. Shut up! I'm trying to video over here. Anyways, but back up on the balcony again, and it's very nice. I mean, this is beautiful. Can't ask for any better of a day. I mean, oh my God, it's beautiful out here. God's country, gotta love it. I love this way of living. Okay, not so much being so far away from town, but I like having like a lot of property, nice peace and quiet. You don't have your neighbors up your ass. You could do anything you want. Like if I wanted to set up my guitar or something in the middle of the yard and start jamming, no one's around to complain about it. So it works out. It would work out pretty good. But with the humidity out here the way it is and shit like that, and how warm it is, I wouldn't let my guitar go through that shit. Anyways, it gets quite hot and quite humid out here. It's a lot different than Chicago's weather, I'll tell you. Now, the first night we came out here, we had some storms that came through, and all we got was lightning and thunder over here. I tried to record it, it just didn't work out very well. It was too dark. And the flashes of lightning just looked weird as far as I noticed with this camera when it's really, really dark outside, pitch black dark, it struggles trying to take a video very well. But it was a very interesting show. Up here on the hill, we had lightning and thunder. The town got slammed with a rain. Unreal. It's like a different way of, you have your own weather up here as well. So it's kind of cool. Town gets hit with storms and shit like that. These guys don't get none. Town gets hit with snow. Up here on the hill, barely anything. And it's gone quick. So, you know, it melts as soon as it comes out, sun comes out, it melts pretty quick. In town, you know, they're still cleaning streets and shit. So it's kind of nice. So today's plan is still up in the air. Nobody knows what they want to do yet. They're inside arguing about it now. There's supposed to be two towns over here that are having some type of a festival, one direction and another in the other. They're supposed to be having some type of firework display and shit like that, kind of like an early 4th of July celebration thing. And they don't know if they want to go to that tonight or not, or if we're going to go to town right now. I already said my piece about it, what I want to do, because Sunday everything's closed. At least all the mom and pop shops are closed. Monday is iffy as if anything's going to be open because Tuesday is the 4th of July, and usually everybody's closed on the 4th of July. Out here, it's a different way of living. You got to hit the stores. If you're going to hit the stores, then you really need to stock up on everything for at least a month, not really by the week, because you're in the middle of nowhere. You know, you're an hour away from town. You know, if you have to call a emergency vehicle like an ambulance or something, it's helicoptered in. So if you have to have a heart attack or something like that, then you have to go to the hospital. A helicopter will pick your ass up and fly you to the hospital. So it's a different way of living out here, and it takes time to get used to. I like it, but I don't like being so far away from a town and shit like that. And I can handle like a 30-minute drive to town and back, but an hour drive is kind of like But yeah, so another thing over here too is like if they have some bad storms, snowstorms and shit like that, they close the roads, so there is no going into town. So it's a different way of living. You gotta get used to it. Like I said, as far as peace and quiet goes, having all this property and being able to do what you want to do, that part I love. But as far as being far away from civilization, yeah, that's kind of I don't like that too much. But these guys have their own gas pump and shit on their properties. They got a guy that comes over here and fills up the tank, and so they're never out of gas. They drive to town. They can refuel. Not a big deal. So when they do things out here, they do things sparingly. So if they're going to go to town, they do it one time. That's it. They don't have to go back to town again for anything else. Great. So it's beautiful out here. Just beautiful day. Not buggy. Not not fighting the mosquitoes or anything. It's nice. Last night I was sitting out here. The spotlight turned on the side of the house, and 3 deer ran by over here. I was like, holy shit. So the guy, the father-in-law over here, which is the owner of this place, he sets up cameras out here, and basically what the cameras do is they're motion sensors, and they're like just a regular digital camera. They're in a box. It's water resistant, and what he does is he sets them up in different areas in the fields, sets out bait for the deer and stuff, and he can get a head count as far as what to expect for when hunting season starts. And then they go to town running around the property over here hunting. Then they stock up their freezer. All the heads that are the trophy heads that are inside the house over here, everything that's inside of here that has fur on it, they shot and have eaten. So there's wild turkey, stuffed wild turkeys in here. There's deer heads. There's a bear. There's all kinds of shit inside here. Some of the shit came off this property. Besides, the bear didn't come off this property, but most of the other shit. They got wild turkey on this property. They got deer on this property. I mean, they got a lot of shit over here. And the bad thing about it is they used to have a bunch of four-wheelers. Now they're down to like 3 four-wheelers. And I guess a couple of them just broke down. They didn't feel like fixing them, so they sold them for parts or whatever. And we used to go running around the property over here, but all the trails kind of like grew over. So he used to keep them cut down and stuff, but he's 80 years old. He ain't doing that shit no more. He doesn't. Some of the trails he still has open, but a lot of the ones that were interesting trails, that were cool trails, he kind of just let them grow. He had a lot of like jumps and like hill climbing and shit, and getting old, it's like hold on tight so you don't fall off the four-wheeler going up some of these little hills that he had over here. But not a big deal. But I wouldn't want this property. This house here, it's like every so many years you have to do the restaining of it and sealing of the logs. You see up there is a bird nest sitting right where my finger's pointing to. And I think he's coming up now. He had to go do something on one of the trails, and I hear the four-wheeler coming up now, so he's back. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty interesting area here. It's pretty cool. I like it, but so hopefully today we get to go to town, and I can go do some pawn shopping. So hopefully I can take the camera, and you guys could follow me into the pawn shops, and I'll be able to like possibly make a deal, wheel and deal, and you guys can see it. I hope. I'm hoping that's how it works, unless they tell me to shut it off again. But I gotta say, for the second day of being here, I can't ask for any better weather than this. Usually it's kind of like out here on this hill, it's a surprise. Okay, the weatherman could say what it's going to do in town, but up here is a smorgasbord of whatever. If it's warm outside, you're going to expect some type of storm coming through here. If it's winter time, you may get some snow, and you may not get anything up here. So it works out pretty good, but again, you can't go by what the weatherman says. Anyways, I'm out of here. I'll catch you all later. I'm gone.